much gardening can you do in one day? Because I thought we'd get a lot more done and we didn't, which kind of disappointed me. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Amber. I'm a first-time mum to a baby Arlo. We moved into this house back in February. Me and my partner finally got on the property ladder and we purchased this beautiful house. But you know when you move into a new house, you're more bothered about the inside. So we completely ended up neglecting the outside. And so what happened? Yes, it completely overgrew. It took us months to actually cut the grass, never mind get in the garden. So spend a day with me and my partner and my little boy doing what we should have done 5 months ago. But first we've got to set up a little area for my little boy Arlo to play. I tell you what, this kick mat is a lifesaver. So first let's take a look at the garden. This is what it's looking like now. As you can see, completely overgrown. There's meant to be flower beds on either side of the grass, and right now it's completely not looking like that. So let's get to work. Now we're going to start with what everyone absolutely hates, and I think that's actually why we didn't get a lot done. Starting with the worst job really doesn't do great for the motivation. So if you haven't guessed it yet, we're going to start with de-weeding, which I think you actually need to de-weed your garden before you can actually do anything worthwhile. But we did get ahead of ourselves. We did go to the garden centre because we literally had nothing to actually do the garden with. I mean, I'm not going to get mud under my nails. I needed a pair of gloves, and I think we actually ended up getting them from B&M. We went to this gorgeous little garden centre near us and we bought a few flowers, some stepping stones and some hanging baskets. From B&M we got a new parasol cover and obviously the tools we need to actually do the gardening. Now after we laid all these stones out and looking back and reflecting on it, we took absolutely huge steps to do this, and now you actually can't walk between the stones. You basically have to lunge, but we've left it too long so now the grass underneath has died. So if we wanted to move them, it's just going to be starting from zero again. So for now we're just going to leave them as is. We have got plans in the future to actually put a full walkway in, but that's what we call a long-term goal. When me and my partner talk about doing the house, we talk about short and long-term goals. For example, a short-term goal would be painting the living room, which we've already done. But a long-term goal would be like getting a double drive. Right now we can fit 2 cars on our drive, but they have to be one behind the other. So for example, if I want to go out, my car's first on the drive, then my boyfriend has to come move his car for me to get off. And that's why putting a permanent path in the garden is a long-term goal. It's going to cost us money and it's not absolutely essential right now. Let me know in the comment section what your long-term goal is for your house. So in our move, the parasol actually broke that we had, so we bought a new one from B&M. This one's great. You can wind it up and everything, and then you can even change the direction that it's leaning in case the sun's coming from another way. But with the stones down, we realised we needed 2 more, so Leon went and got them a bit later on. But I don't know why we decided to do this on the hottest day of the year. Like, this is Britain. We literally never have good weather, so we were like, we need to spend this productive. I didn't exactly expect to be sweating all day for this. Getting the easy jobs out the way before we have to tackle them flower beds. That's the stones and the parasol done, and I've hung the basket. Let's check on little Arlo. Yep, he's doing great. He's just chilling, enjoying the nice weather, living absolutely free as babies do. I'm so jealous. I swear to God, look at him. He's just kicking away, living his best life. And here we are slaving away. I say slaving away, but we haven't actually done anything yet, that is. Why are you still watching this video? I'm just rambling pure shit. Anyway, here's some of the tools we got, because I was like channeling my inner gardener. I was like, we're gonna need this fork and this trowel. Here we are pretending to plant like we don't know how to de-weed. Or clearly we don't know because the weeds keep growing back. Personally, I'm not a big gardener and I would be happy to just get rid of the flower bed. Like, pick up the people that are big gardeners. But right now, we are in our 20s, we have a baby, we got a puppy not long after this. We do not have the time to be out in the garden, de-weeding and other such things. Here's me thinking I'm very cool, ready to fight. That was the most awkward fist bump of my life. So anyway, let's actually start de-weeding. My legs were burning after like the first 2 minutes. Like, I'm not used to this exercise stuff. I was pregnant for 9 months and now I've just had my baby. I haven't had chance to get out and about again. I'm still in them postpartum trenches. We thought we'd been absolutely smashing the time, but it turns out we'd literally only done this small section. Now this plant, I don't know what it is. At first we wanted to take it out, like fully get rid of all the roots and stuff. After a little bit of digging, I realised it was a full ass tree, so I just gave it a trim. Now here's the time I need to invest in some electric shears. I tell you what, trying to cut a hedge with these big scissors, I don't know what even they're called, was so much effort when I could have just had electric shears going there you go, it's done. But you know me, I like to make life hard. Now we'd actually made a big dent into it and we decided we needed a little break, but we were going to be productive on this break, so we measured up and headed out. It was also time for Arlo's nap, so it was kind of the perfect time to go in the car. Can you guess what we're measuring up for? Well, we're going to our favourite place, B&Q. Tell you what, when we moved in, we literally spent like £400 at B&Q on paint. I didn't know paint was that expensive. And we even got it on when it was 4 for 3. So we just got a burger from the little van outside of B&Q. after we'd bought a couple of things. I tell you what, this burger was so good after all that work this morning. I say all that work like we've done loads. So we got a little few things to go around the garden. We put Arlo back down to play and chill out, and we crack on de-weeding the next bit of the garden. There's no point putting our trims down until we've sorted that out. Now the main trouble was there's actually 2 trees here, but whoever lived here before us has cut them down. As you can see, they're just like stumps, and now they have thin thorn branches growing out of them. I wish people would just like dig up their trees. Am I right in thinking you need like permission for that? I can't even think. I don't know if I've heard that from somewhere. Or maybe I'm just talking out my arse again. I mean, I have been rumbling on for 5 minutes. So if you are still here, don't forget to subscribe for some more cuckoo entertainment. And our council has just moved to brown bins over green bins, so we don't actually have one to fill up right now. But here was the flower bed after we de-weeded it, looking absolutely great. And of course, Arlo's still loving life. So what's up next? Let's get these trims in. So I first tried to start in this very corner, but it turns out there's like concrete there or something because I literally could not get it to go down. I was then like, I'll get the shovel out. But that's when I realised there was concrete because I could not get through the shovel. If I recall, I actually think I broke the shovel. So we decided to start a little bit further along, and then we realised we're actually so weak we can't push it in ourselves. So I just sat there hammering them all in after my partner placed them down with a little bit in to hold them still. I tell you what, this was hard work too. But isn't it just great when you can see your garden coming together? I know we haven't done much, but it's still looking a lot better. So I got a bit bored of hammering in the trims, so my partner finished them off and I cracked out the weed spray to just spray it on all these weeds that we have around the garden. There was a lot on both our patios, so that was the main focus really. Obviously you could go through and dig them all out, but why do that when I can just spray some weed killer? But does anyone know if I've sprayed weed killer, can they still come back? Like surely they can. I feel like it's just a temporary solution and eventually I'm gonna have to dig out the roots. So that's the trim lay and the weed spray. Haha, I'm so funny, I rhymed. So next up we bought 2 bags of topsoil just to fill up the flower beds a little bit more. My partner poured it all out and I just spread it out to make it a bit even. You know what they say, teamwork makes the dream work. Arlo's just vibing doing some tummy time. I forgot to actually record this, but we planted this really nice flower right at the end and I don't even know what it's called, so I don't actually know how I'm meant to look after it. Will it come back, or once it dies, will it just die? I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. So if you know what it is or you know how to look after it, please let me know. We bought some pansies too and I spread them evenly out up the side. But we didn't buy quite nearly enough, so there is only a few dotted about. I didn't realise how expensive buying flowers actually was. Like, why do people use gardening as a hobby? Your money just must go on everything. But honestly, this bit was quite calming. It was nice and chilled just to see the garden actually coming together. I say the garden like we haven't literally just done this one strip, but the flowers looked nice. My turn to look after Arlo while my partner just watered all the flowers. It'd been a hot day, so it needed it. And then we also put our garden lights back in. We put them spread out just on the inside of the trim so you can still see them. They light up a nice fiery orange on an evening. So now guys, let me show you a before and after. So if you remember, this was what it was like before. The garden was really overgrown. Like, you literally can't see the difference between the grass and the flower beds right there. We've still got that side to do. We haven't touched it yet. I was pretty wiped out after the first side. This is it after. I think you can already tell how much of a difference it is. Now, I know we might not have actually done a lot in this video, but for me, I felt so accomplished. Now, if you want to see more content from me and my family, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.